This segment is brought to you by Jig Masters. Step up your game with high-quality performance jigs, spinner baits, buzz baits, and more from jigmasters.com. And always, when in doubt, get the jig out.
Let's go!
This is the Chasin The Tide saltwater segment on the Paddle and Fin Network. I'm your host, Dustin Nichols. So come along for the saltwater shenanigans.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Chasin The Tide saltwater segment on the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. I'm your host, Dustin, and here today we got the man himself from Yak Tribe, Mr. Heath Panganiban. I hope
there you go.
Try to get that name right, man. We'll have to go for that. So, hey, man, I want you to welcome you to the show, man. Thanks for jumping on. And introduce yourself to everybody. Tell everybody where you're from.
Yeah.
And go into a quick background on what started you, that fishing bug in you, and then what led you into that plastic boat that we call kayak.
Sounds good. Yeah. So, of course, my name's Heath. I'm from Tampa Bay, Florida. I was born and raised here in St. Pete, which is where I'm living right now. I spent some time out of St. Pete, moved to Sarasota for about 5 or 6 years, met my wife there, ended up moving into the RV for 3 years, and found myself full circle back here in St. Pete. So, yeah, I'm a family guy. I got 3 sons. My wife Shannon, she's great, and it's pretty much who I am, man. Yak Tribe, working church, marketing, all that kind of stuff. You already know that kind of thing, but that's me, bro.
Yep, that's it, man. And then and Shannon, and she's kind of like does some influence and stuff too through social media, also.
Yeah, she's pretty good at what she does. She has a whole influencing network. She doesn't do kind of like. She's not in the fishing industry, but
right.
Yeah, she does influence.
Vacation getaways and kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Lodging and things like that, restaurants and kind of promotion. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm proud of her.
Cool.
Done good for herself. I mean, she's been able to do influencing, full time. And it's definitely a blessing for both of us to be able to.
Yeah, for sure. And y'all have a family YouTube that y'all kind of document some stuff too, or y'all still have that active a little bit?
Yeah, that's pretty active. I mean, I have my personal and Yak Tribe, of course, but we have a channel called Pangani Tribe, just, play on Yak Tribe, and we kind of treat that channel as kind of like the home video station, you know what I'm saying, where we're still vlogging, but it's an archive of memories for our family, but we try and make the content in a way that's interesting for everybody, and they can kind of maybe, if we have anything to offer them, travel-wise, marketing-wise, home-wise, just that kind of portion of our life, it kind of derived out of our life on the road. So
exactly. So it's like a travel vlog of the family.
Yeah, it's like a travel vlog.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's more, and we're kind of trying to turning it more into destination blogs. So we've been doing like a lot more like top 25 things to do in, Pigeon Forge or like, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that area up there, Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge. I traveled up there as a young buck many years ago. They used to have a place that you could, I know the people nowadays wouldn't take much to it, but they had a bear. It was like kept in this area, and you'd pay to feed it orange sodas or root beer.
Yeah, actually, that's like that's their whole thing, right? Is that like it used to be that way, and they used to have bear. They don't market this a lot, but that's really how like the whole tourist town got started, because they would, they would basically market the bears by letting people feed them and everything like that. And I'm like, no, where is it now? But
in the saltwater taffy, the candy shops, and all that, and then it's grown into like the go-kart tracks and all that good stuff. Yeah, still a cool area to visit, definitely.
Yeah.
Really cool. So yeah, you Mr. Yak Tribe himself. So as far as that goes, what brought about the concept of Yak Tribe, and how has it influenced the kayak community and grown over the years? What all started that out?
Yeah, man. I mean, I've covered this a few times, but it seems to change every time I kind of cover it, because the vision is always the same, but kind of how we execute it is constantly changing.
Yes.
I will say, to answer the second question first, I don't exactly know how exactly we've influenced the community. I think, I'm not really sure. I'd have to I don't know. We'd have to ask somebody else that question, maybe. But I'll tell you this. I'll tell you that Yak Tribe really started when I really got into kayak fishing. You know, I went to ICAST. I was working for a company, and you know, I came and volunteered my time in exchange to kind of see what was behind the scenes of ICAST. And so I went there, and it kind of like, you know, like awakened me to see what the fishing industry was really like. And, you know, ICAST is great. Everything's great. But I really saw like all of these influencers, and I want to like tread lightly when I say this, because if Dustin, you know me personally, like, you know, I'm like like I'm not a mean person,
Right.
but I just want to preface that, you know, but for the sake of just moving past this, I felt like there was like so many imposters there, just like imposters, like they were this one way online, and then when you see them in person, they were totally not that way. And, you know, I get it, you know, online personas and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But even just the companies, you know, engaging with the companies and things like that, and watching how the companies engage with each other, I kind of just took a step back and just observed, you know. And I remember walking away from the ICAST experience, this is like 2015, and I was like, man, that is lame, you know, like, what in the world? And so it kind of just sparked like this. I wish there was, I hope that the kayak community never becomes that way. You know what I'm saying? And so in the outdoor industry, you have like these niches, right? You have like kayak fishing, you have like bouldering, you have like, you know, mountain biking. There's like all these outdoor, like one-off, and those groups tend to be like really nice people, you know, like just very just engaged and cool and awesome. And I was just, you know, not that I'm anybody, but I was thinking, I wish there was somebody or a brand or a national company that sole purpose was like to keep that culture, or at least try and develop that culture and move it forward. Yeah. And so I kind of try to think of like what that could be. So I started coming up with all these names, right? And I did my research. I tried to see who was out there, because I don't like to create a company for the sake of creating a company if there's already somebody really doing really well at that. Right. You know, I really like get behind them. And I saw a few brands out there, but they were really focused on like a specific place or like a town, you know, or all the smaller ones. But I was looking for more nationally what was happening. Yep. And I just tried to come up with names like, you know, like, I don't know. But my wife was like, why do you call it Yak Tribe? And I was like, that is the lamest thing I've ever heard. You know, let me stick to branding, okay? Let me stick. That's what I do. And she was like, well, it wasn't that mean, but she was like, yeah, Yak Tribe would be good. And so I immediately went home, and it really started to grow on me. I was like, Yak Tribe, like, Yak Tribe. Yeah, I could see that. Yak Tribe. And I just threw together like this trash logo. I like drew it out with a pencil, and it ended up turning into the OG logo that you know. You know, it has like the tribal around it with like this kayak that's also a shark, that's also like has a guy in it that also has like, it's like all of these things. It's like too much, you know, it's like it's too much. But I did it, and I liked it, and people liked it. And of course, we've rebranded since, you know, we got like the different seal, National Kayak Fishing Community, all that on there. And so that's really how Yak Tribe started, for the sake of, I wanted to see what would happen nationally if there was an umbrella. And the sole purpose was like, do good stuff, try and make connections with people from one side of the United States to the other side of the United States. And like, how do we keep those connections relevant? And what are the platforms that we can host these people to have the opportunity available if people wanted to develop relationships or friends, you know, whatever kayak fishing friendships, you know, in different places. And so again, to end it, I kind of saw all of these different, you know, Heroes on the Water. I saw all of these things, people doing like specific towns, you know, like this is my segment of kayak fishing. But how do we link like people in Pennsylvania that have never experienced sight casting a redfish in Alabama or Louisiana? How do we get them to cross culture like that? And it's all good. Like, it's dope, you know? Yep. That's the idea.
Yeah. And it was cool. I mean, even for just people in the general area like myself, I found up looking at the database too and seeing people where they lived and reached out to some people here and there and ended up fishing with quite a few people from that.
Yeah. And by the way, shameless plug, this is my favorite apple juice. This is from the apple barn in Tennessee. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Anytime I go to Tennessee, I buy like 6 of these things and I bring it back.
That's that good, unfiltered, good stuff. Good for you.
So good.
Yes. And then the growth is, as far as Yak Tribe goes too, has been pretty significant too, as far as over the years, how many people have become involved and everything. And, meetups here and there. I know this year was a one-off with COVID and all that. So
it was hard this year, man. I was just talking to Rex about this on my podcast that his episode will drop, in the next week or so.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, COVID just kind of put you want to be responsible, as you can. I found that like during COVID, there's like, and this is anything, COVID, politics, church, anything, COVID, you got like the people way over here and they believe like if you're not wearing 20 masks and they're not wearing 20 masks and you don't go outside in a hazmat suit, then obviously you hate everybody and that you're condemning the world. And then on this side, you got like everybody that you got these people who are like, I'm purposely going to breathe in your nose and spit in your face and prove to you COVID doesn't exist. Right. And then you got everybody in between, so that's the world we've been living in 2020. And so we had to be really like responsible. We canceled like our huge meetup. Like, oh, bro, we had like the bunk houses made, like, booked. We had
at Pack, correct? Yeah.
No, it was actually in Gulf. It was in Gulf.
No, that was the one that was going to be at Gulf Shores. That's right. That's right.
We had to cancel that one just because we still have our deposit there, of course. So it's going to run hopefully this year. Like, I don't know when everything's going to let up. You know what I mean?
Just so much unknown with all of it. I had it back in July, and I wear a buff, I wear my mask, but if I'm outside and not within 10 foot of somebody, I'm taking it off.
Yeah, I just had to be responsible as far as
be responsible around other people. I want to be that way. I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to wear it in the store. No, I wear it. It's. I've had it
been like political. You know what I mean?
Right.
We've never ever been like using our platform for that. So I just felt like rather than pushing the issue and drawing out all the people who would come anyway, that's not really what we're like and the vibe we go for, regardless of what I think. So I just want to continue our meetups and all those things when everyone kind of feels like comfortable doing this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Just to keep it all whatever.
Yeah, and it's the same thing as far as the big national tournaments go. They are still some events were still going on, but they were having virtual captains meetings. Yeah. They weren't having the big meetups afterwards, doing a lot of stuff online. There's a lot of online CPR stuff going on. Some of the other groups like Bayou Coast over here, Upper Coast Kayak Anglers, Low Country Kayak Anglers, all over the country, they kind of adapted their own online CPR events within their groups and still had engagement through that too, which is pretty cool. Right. Was able to adapt and still have some good times and still able to social fish distance on the water.
It actually needs to be a shirt if it's not. I'm social distancing.
Social distancing. There needs to be one.
Okay, I'll do it. Trademark.
You're gonna do that one. There you go. There you go. But and then this year, like all the kayak manufacturers are just backed up. Yeah. They're all pretty much producing whatever they can to try and keep up. But this year was insane for the growth.
It was, I just talked to Ed from Everything Kayak. I had him on the podcast. That will drop in like a month from now. And the manufacturer just got slammed. Shops aren't able to be as helpful with, being able to get one-offs and, special orders. And it's basically just like build your order and hopefully you get what you can, right now. And, the customers obviously have to be a little bit more patient in this season of uncertainty.
Right. That's exactly what it is. A season of uncertainty. You couldn't say it better right there. Because, a lot of companies felt that it was going to be like a big sharp, like fall off a cliff.
Yeah.
And then they ended up going through the roof with sails and everything, just everybody was going outside.
Sure.
Just get away from it. So, man, I know it's just been a crazy year. Just looking forward to move forward to the future and keep growing this sport that we all love, That's the thing,
Mm-hmm.
So, getting out on the water, what you like to sight catch redfish? Is that your favorite thing?
I love the sight catch redfish. If I could do one thing, I mean, look, it would be that, more than being offshore and pulling in monsters or, there's not one bucket list fish. Like, okay, like I'm still chasing like my big tarpon, a big tarpon here in St. Pete. And we're actually coming up on season in a few months for it.
Oh yeah.
This is how serious I am about sight casting reds. I would give up not ever catching my bucket list huge tarpon from a kayak and getting that shot for being able to sight cast reds forever. No problem.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
It's just pretty fun.
It's just
some of them eats you can get right by the boat.
It's just so unreal. Like, here's why I think it's like more fun than anything else, right? It's because you're gonna take, whether you use, fake or real bait, but let's say take artificial, right? So that's why I like to use artificial. You're taking this fake piece of nothing and you are seeing a fish swim around, and then you're putting this fake piece of nothing perfectly in line with it getting to where it needs to be, and then making this fake piece of nothing look like something real, and then it eats it. You have been what's the guy that does like the whole, like, a maestro or whatever it's called? The symphony
orchestrator or whatever he does.
You've been like the master orchestrator of this entire scenario right here, and it worked, and you got it on camera. It's just, I don't know what's better than doing that. It's awesome.
It's pretty cool. It is. Like you said, you got this piece of plastic or some molded melted plastic that was put together to look like some kind of fish or shrimp, and you're enticing that fish to eat something that.
And the best is when they swim off and they don't. Yeah, the best is when they don't eat it, and you just like keep chasing them and then you get them. It's like,
and then you finally get them. Yep.
It makes
that reward is good.
Yeah, it makes you feel like if it goes down, you could feed your family.
Yeah,
that's what it makes you feel like.
Yeah. I love to eat them. Yeah, all the people up north, I guess, if y'all don't able to get redfish, I don't know what I'd compare it to up there. Walleye are pretty good.
Hey, I'm gonna take some shots here. Okay, I'm just gonna say, because I know a lot of people have been on your podcast. The only reason people like bass fishing is because they can't sight fish for reds. Because if you could sight fish, if you had that ability, you would not like bass fishing.
I like to catch bass. I do.
I don't know.
But redfish, just hands down.
Or anything.
That drag pull is just
unreal.
Through the guides. The sound of that, line just burning through is awesome. And just the top water eats they can do sometimes are just.
And my boy Kevin Fox,
water stupid.
My boy Kevin Fox over at Southern Moon, in Augusta, Georgia.
Yeah.
He says something. He told me sometime. He's my boy. He always, takes shots. I mean, he's like, saltwater fishing was developed for boys and freshwater fishing was developed for men, right? Or something like that. And then I have all my bass fishing friends come down south to sight fish, and they can't make it happen. So you tell me.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me.
Yeah. It's a little different. I mean,
it's different. Yeah.
They'll eat some of the same stuff too, though. That's the cool thing about it. I've caught them on buzz baits, caught them on chatterbaits, caught them on frogs. I mean, caught them on punching with crawfish imitation. Same thing. Their tendencies are like a bass almost. They are.
Yeah, they're just predators.
They're stronger.
Yeah.
And they get bigger.
Mm-hmm. And they taste
a lot bigger. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they taste way better. Oh man. So you like sight casting? You like chasing them down or stalking them on the flats and going to work with them? What baits are you using when you're sight casting fish? Just depends on the match the hatch kind of mentality, or what's in the area, or just.
Oh man, like, to be honest, this is gonna sound crazy. Like, I fished, like, when we lived on the road, we went from like Florida to California and everywhere in between. And I'm convinced of one thing. And I guess specific areas have like a specific color does really well, But if we're talking about specifically sight fishing, not just like blind casting, that kind of thing, I'm convinced it doesn't matter what color you're using. It don't matter. As long as it's the right presentation and as long as it fits kind of the mood, what they're in the mood for, But I'm pretty much throwing just a few things, man. I'm just either throwing a bugs jig. I love those things.
Yep.
It's a mix between obviously a jig that it's a fly.
It's the castable fly.
It's a castable fly that sinks to the bottom and puffs up and does its thing like rabbit fur does. I just love it.
Yep.
So if I'm sight casting, it's definitely a bugs jig tied on. And if it's not a bugs jig, it's just going to be a simple, quarter-ounce weight with a paddle tail, something like that. If I'm in Louisiana, because we don't have them over here in Florida, if I'm in Louisiana and it's like summertime, something like that or whatever, I'll throw crawl on like a weakness. But I'm pretty much only, if I'm sight casting, I'm only have a bugs jig on.
Yeah,
for the most part. Yeah, bro. Yeah. And I'll bring like 3 rods out with 3 bugs jigs on.
Oh, there you go.
Sometimes you get broken off, but the fish is still there. So I'm just like, get another one, So
there you go. Yeah, bugs are tough to beat, especially when they're a little finicky. Sometimes a smaller presentation of those.
Yeah.
It lands. It's lighter on the water. You don't get that spook from your splashing down.
Yeah,
near them and stuff.
Yeah, most of the time, if I'm in the marsh, not like in Florida because we have the mangroves, of course.
Yeah.
But if I'm in the marsh somewhere, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, 20-30% of the time, if I see like a red over there, especially on the bank or whatever, I throw it like 2 feet into the grass.
Yeah.
And I just, because it's weedless, and I kind of just work it out of the grass and let it just kind of like slip in the water. Boom.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's perfect.
I see that, man. Yeah, it's tough to beat the bugs. He has different ones. He's got that clickbait shrimp. He's got the hydra bug, flats bugs, the bonefish one. He's got quite an assortment, quite a smorgasbord of offerings for the redfish.
Yeah, he does. I only use 2 of his things. And not to say his other stuff's not good. I just don't use it.
Curl tail jig.
I only use the curl tail, and I only use the Bugs Mini.
The mini, yeah, the curl tail and the blue crab is one of mine,
and
that I use a lot over here. Yeah. And it's like a kind of new penny-ish copper penny color. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then the black ones with the chartreuse for the stained water, pretty good over here.
I use those minis for the sheep's head, like the sight cast sheep's head.
Oh yeah, they will kill them things, dude.
They love the mini ones. It's just
yes, and that's fun, especially this time of year. On our shallower flats, sometimes even cold like this, those 3-4 pound red sheephead will be cruising around the shell and stuff, and you can get them to eat the artificials, just presenting them right. And oh man, those things are fun and they're good eating. They're just a pain to clean, but I'd gladly take home a string of those.
Yeah, for sure.
Any day. Yep. Yeah. Pretty white, sweet flesh meat, sweet meat on them things. Yep. So like you said, your 3 rods, you might have 3 bugs, but that's a part of my segment I like to do sometimes. I like to throw out a pick 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got 3 combos. You're going to stick in your crate, rod holders, whatever. What are they going to be?
Yeah, if I'm in Florida, so I'll just say that for Florida. If I'm in Florida, I'm taking 3 rods. They're all going to be paired with BG 2500s across the board, just because they're you can find them for $100. They're not the worst. They're not the best. They're middle line. I tell you this, like when I first got really into fishing, like regularly, I would like wipe my stuff down with soap and check on it at night to make sure if they were okay, like all that stuff. I've had these BGs tied up on my rods for almost 2.5 years. I've never cleaned them, ever. I mean, I've rinsed them off with water, but I've never, like, serviced them. And they still work just as good as the first day. And I've dunked a few of them.
And those are spinning reels?
Yeah, spinning reels, the BG 2500s. Yeah, I'm not really that good with the bait caster. I've never really got into it, like, enough to get into it. I just don't cast enough to justify needing the ability to have a bait caster. You know, I really only cast if I see a fish.
Yes.
So it's just that personal preference. But if I'm going out, I'm tying on. If it's in Florida, I'm tying on a black and gold topwater basic, just like heading. You know, I don't use anything fancy. Walmart heading, boom, get that on there. So I got like 6 of them in my garage. So that's one. I'm gonna throw on a 1/4 ounce jig head with a root beer and gold paddle tail. So root beer and gold, my colors here in Florida. And then I'm gonna throw on on my third rod, I'm gonna put on a green, silver, white, greenback Mirrodine subsurface. Yeah, I'm gonna throw on one of those. So I usually start the morning off with like heavy top water, and then move kind of into my paddle tails, and then go back to top water in like the middle of the day. And if I'm really, if I'm kind of towards the end of the day, I'll look and see what's on the flats, and I'll just work the subsurface for a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I love top water.
Louisiana, I'm just gonna bring 1 top water and 2 bug jigs. That's it.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
See, and then some of the times over here, we'll, especially higher tides, flooded grass and all that, I'll have a popping cork to kind of call them out of the grass on like wind blown shorelines and stuff. I love top water.
Yeah, boy.
I love the unexpected blow ups you get sometimes, just in high percentile areas like ambush points and indentions and mouths of drains and stuff. It's always fun.
When I work top water, I have the Apple Watch, and when I'm fishing, my Apple Watch is like constant. You have Apple Watch?
No.
Well, it's
like your log, your steps or something.
It tells me my texts, like all that kind of stuff. But anyways, it tracks like your breathing and stuff like that. When I'm fishing and working top water, my watch constantly tells me to breathe because it knows when I'm not breathing. Because I'll be like, top water, and then just like stop breathing, just like, because you're like always anticipating the blow up.
Oh yeah.
It's like breathe. I'm like,
oh. Yeah. No, I'm still an Android user.
Yeah.
My wife and daughter get on to me all the time. I don't know. It's easier for my photos and stuff. It's each to each their own. Yeah.
It's not easier for photos. I think you're just too cool to go out. Like you really want to, but like for the sake of being too cool, like you can't.
I can't do it. I don't know. I like being able to tell it shoot and it takes my pictures.
Yeah.
I like that part of it. Yeah. That's a big plus, not having to take two-handed photos when you're trying to get your fish in and stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
So, yeah, that's part of it. But yeah, my wife and daughter are all into that Apple stuff. I just can't get into it yet. I don't know.
Just try.
I might just need to. I just need to take it. I was like, damn, dang it.
Yeah.
I can't find anything on this phone. What's this Safari? What's Safari? What's that? Oh, that's the web browser. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I use
when you don't use Apple and you try to get on it, it's definitely different when you use Android all along. It is.
Yeah.
That's cool about your watch telling you to breathe. I'm sure if I had one and I was fishing top water, it'd do the same thing. Definitely. Yep. So what else been going on? You got started a rental program, right?
Yeah, so we have our rental program. It's two-sided, right? So we have over that way on the side of my yard, we've got like these 3 racks I built. They each hold 4 kayaks, and of course my personal kayak is in the garage. Can't be messing around with that.
Right. That's what mine are too.
It's all set up, No, but the ones outside, they're nice. They're feel free.
Yeah.
They're good kayaks. I just built like a sunshade over them, so they're all protected.
Oh, cool.
I don't got room for those in the garage, so all like 4/8-12, like all 12 of those kayaks stay out there. We got like 3 paddle boards, so they're all fishing kayaks too. So we got two things here. We have the kayak rental library. That's the Yak Tribe portion, right?
Yes.
The Yak Tribe library is free for any Yak Tribe member. They can come, they can use it, but it's for fishing. So we don't. It's not for leisurely. This is for if you're in Yak Tribe, it's probably because you kayak fish.
You kayak fish, yeah.
Yeah. Right. So I had to distinguish, make a clear line in the sand that it's for kayak fishing. If you're not kayak fishing, you don't qualify for this program. But if you're a Yak Tribe member, no matter where you come from, what state, you can fly in. If you come to Tampa Bay, you can come rent a kayak. We got all your gear. You can bring a pole out. We got your kayak, crate, anchor, stakeout pole, dry bags, measuring to anything. We even got lures that are already ready to go, top waters, everything, a whole boxes put together of tackle boxes. So you can literally have everything you need, and you can go kayak fishing in Tampa Bay. We throw it on your car.
Y'all hear all that, y'all.
Huh?
Middle American bass fishermen, if you ever get down that way. Yeah. Make sure you remember a Yak Tribe.
Yeah. So you
can be able to go kayak fishing down there and catch some redfish and some trout.
Use our stuff and enjoy your day and come back in. So that's like the free kayak Yak Tribe library. It's awesome. It's great. We had people come from Ohio, Georgia, Texas, PA, everywhere. They've come all over. It's been awesome, and that's still up and running. But then we use those same kayaks that we purchased for the library. And we have Tampa Bay kayak rentals. Anybody locally that just needs kayak rentals for, going through the trails, mangrove trails, we rent those kayaks out for money, of course. We rent those out to them. And our insurance that we got covers both of our programs. It covers the free kayak library, and it covers our rental for local people who need kayaks.
People, even if they want to fish or recreational paddlers.
What's nice is the rental company basically gives us the cash to be able to do the library.
Cool.
These guys, things break on kayaks,
Yep.
Someone will lose a paddle. I'm not going to make them pay for that. Either Yak Tribe, of course.
Yeah.
But a lot of these Yak Tribe guys, they've been so awesome. People have donated from all across the country, not the kayaks, but the gear and stuff. And some paddles. And a lot of these Yak Tribe guys, when they come and rent a kayak from the library, they end up bringing more stuff. So they're like, I also brought this life jacket and a measuring, device. So to add it to the library. So it's great.
Cool.
But yeah, the rental company, I still have to pay the insurance. So that's why I really need to do the rental company to pay for the insurance. Expensive,
Oh yes, very much so.
So I
have everything: PFDs, rods, paddles, you name it. Y'all got it covered. That's pretty cool.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
And that's been going pretty well, y'all.
Yeah, it's been going well. Yeah, we have a lot of vlogs on it. We have a lot of content on it, and so it's done really good. I'm just happy to do it, and I'm hoping that we can open another one soon. So it's gonna be good.
In a different location,
different
part of the state, or just
different.
Oh, cool deal.
Yeah.
Cool deal. What else has been going on, man? You got anything going on with? You still doing some marketing and stuff for any companies or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm still pretty busy. We've been blessed through COVID because of the type of business we have. So we have our marketing agency, Rizotech. When the pandemic first started, a lot of people saw it, business owners, they saw it as an opportunity to rebrand and to, just up their online presence, because I think a lot of them saw that, online was really going to be the way moving forward over the next few years because of all the regulations. And so, man, we built a good amount of sites throughout COVID, which was great for us. We were blessed to not lose our job, and we're so thankful for that. Yeah. But yeah, we've been busy just building sites, building a rod site. We built a rod site. We built a window site. We built a pest control site, event hall site. I mean, we've just been doing a lot of building lately. So yeah, we've been doing a lot of that. So we're gonna kind of double down and try and get that work, because we have a lot going on right now just in our house. If you can see, if I tilt this up, you see these tiles on my roof?
Yeah.
Well, those tiles are covering up the old drywall behind it. And like regular drywall.
Yes. Yep.
Well, they had put this texturing on the drywall, and it's asbestos.
Oh.
And so it's hazardous material.
Right.
And so all that asbestos has started to break up and fall on the backside of these tiles. And now that dust is actually starting to come through the tiles.
Ooh.
And that's like, I got 3 sons. That's like really dangerous. And my cousin works for a hazardous company, and she tested it. It's all asbestos.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's rough, man. It's pray for me, bro, because we're
definitely will.
We got to be out of our house for 30 days, and it's going to cost $18,000.
Ooh.
I'm about to have to sell all these kayaks. Like, bro, it's unreal, man. But that's what we've been really up to right now. We're kind of getting everything out of our house so we can get all this done just for the safety of the fam, and because this is kind of our house for a long time, so we need to
right.
We got to get it done because these kids are going to grow up in this house. I just don't want them to I don't want to get sick. I don't want them to get
exactly
sick.
No, that's
yeah, man. Insurance doesn't cover it.
That family. Yeah, insurance isn't going to do anything, huh? No.
That's what we've been up to, man. Just trying to work our butts off so we can get it. Get
that knocked out.
We have to, yeah.
And I know, like you said earlier, y'all did do the RV thing for a while. Y'all had a good little run going on that.
Yeah.
Living all across the U.S. there, even made it out to California.
Yeah.
Back, and
so dope.
Y'all just had a good little experience for the kids and everything too.
Yeah.
See a lot of things already in their young life. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was exciting for us because I just wanted to put into motion what Yak Tribe was all about, which is like, we could preach like real people, real stories, real connections, but it's like, we're only going to stay here. So we were like, how do we, if we really want to build Yak Tribe, and 2020 really put like a little bit of stunt to our growth.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, if we really want to grow the tribe nationwide, then we have to go. Like, we got to go. We got to go to them. Like we can do meetups here and there, and like drive to Louisiana for a weekend and do a meetup. But let's just put into practice what we're trying to build. And so that's really how that happened.
Exactly, and that's the whole thing behind that. The whole concept of Yak Tribe was the camaraderie, and then like you said, the connections between everybody, and it's a great deal. It's a great program. Great.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Great group of people. A lot of great people.
Yeah, you've been that Tribe for a long time, bro. I appreciate it, man.
Man. Oh yeah. From
you and
as
the
soon as I found out about it, I was always like, oh shoot, man.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah. I always try to represent when I got it. So I'll be stoked on some new shirts coming out when y'all get them going.
I will. Yeah. I would say, like Yak Tribe doesn't exist unless we only exist because of the people. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So we're not just trying to be like a apparel company. Like we're really trying to engage with people like you and develop these relationships and friendships that they really last a lifetime. So that's what it's all about.
Oh yeah. Just like everything, I was involved in skateboarding and surfing community. It's all still the same. I still keep in touch with everybody on that side of things. And then, but fishing has just been, it was grassroots from day one when I was a young kid, growing up in Southeast Georgia, and and then just led me down the road to this kayak, this plastic boat world, and it's just no looking back. It's I'm excited with the growth and just getting to experience new waters and meet new people. That's what's been the best for me, was meeting everybody.
Yep.
So like my wife, I say it all. My wife always tells me I talk the paint off the wall. So yeah.
I think the coolest thing about our platforms, like Paddle and Fin, or what you're doing with this, or Yak Tribe, or you know, any of these organizations that are like-minded kind of people, you know, Rex with Live Live, you know, they're ideas, you know, they're really ideas on. And so, you know, it's one thing for these platforms to exist just to exist. But I think what really makes an organization valuable is if it's doing, like, what is it actually doing? You know what I'm saying? And so the reason why I say is, like, Yak Tribe only exists because of the people, is because, like, you've seen, this isn't, like, I always say this, like, this isn't a brag on, like, me because I didn't do it. But you've been in Yak Tribe long enough to see, you know, Yak Tribe has come together multiple times to pay for people's, you know, medical expenses, chemotherapy, funerals, Christmas. This last year, we knocked out teachers' Amazon wish lists, you know, through COVID when it first started, you know, just, and it's amazing that I can put on Yak Tribe's Instagram story a link and say, like, hey, here's a teacher in Pennsylvania who is part of Yak Tribe. Here's the Amazon wish list. You know, the parents aren't buying this stuff and they need it. And within, like, I literally have to call the teacher back and say, like, you have to update this list now because it's already bought out.
It's already taken care of.
So, like,
that's cool. That's
like kayak fishing. That's what, like, our platforms are really trying to do, is, like, really be there for each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you've met so many people through your podcast that I can only imagine the reach and resource that you have through these relationships. And it's like, what are we doing with these relationships? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. So
there's, well, I can't even think how many segments we have now. 9, I think. We even have a segment in Spanish.
Yeah.
Reaching out. We got stuff about, you know, tournament updates, product reviews, destination, off the water. Mine's a saltwater one. We even got a hunting episode we're starting to fall into now. You know, it's come a long ways. I was stoked when they asked me to come on board. You know, this is my 2nd year now starting this season. And I'm just excited to share people's stories like yours and, you know, talk about fishing on here and share if we can just help a few people out, you know, that want to get into it and, you know, just want to enjoy, you know, what we have to say.
Yep. I feel that.
Oh, yes. Yes, sir. Well, shoot, man. Well, man, I really appreciate you jumping on the show with me today.
Yeah.
You know, you got anything, any shout outs, plugs, anything you want to throw out there?
Man, I mean, I don't really have too many plugs. I don't have any sponsors or, you know, I'm a sponsorless man. But I'm just, you know, just follow Yak Tribe. You know, if you're not, even if you're not, you know, into kayak fishing, or you're just into fishing or outdoors in general, you know, check out Yak Tribe on Instagram or check out our website. I think it's gonna generate some ideas in your own life, just seeing what our community is all about. So if you're part of kayak fishing and you haven't heard of us, I mean, it would be a big blessing to us for you to check out Yak Tribe for sure. I guess my personal Instagram, you know, you can check out at Heath Panganiban. That's my personal. I'm trying to upload a bunch of sight casting stuff, fishing stuff, everyday stuff, that kind of thing, man. But hey, Dustin, I appreciate you, man. It's been fun catching up. I mean, we haven't seen each other since like ICAST 20. It's
been a while. Yeah. The last time they had one. Yep.
Yeah, it's been maybe 2019. I don't remember, bro, but it's been a minute. So, you know, I know you got a lot going on too. So obviously whatever you need from us, you know, we're always down to be helping.
Right on, man. Like I said, man, appreciate you coming on. Thanks for everybody tuning in.
Yeah.
You know, don't forget, Chasin The Tide has a paddle fin. We have an online kayak winter trout showdown going on the month of February. All that info is on the Facebook page, Chasin The Tide kayak fishing tournament, and it's on the app of Fishing Chaos. You can look there. I've posted multiple groups here and there, so y'all be on the lookout for that. And enter that. That would be great if we can get some support. We'll get some support and get that going. I'd like to see, you know, I at least want to get over 20 anglers. I hope that happens. But you know, it's nationwide 10 fish aggregate speckled trout tournament. There's a big fish pot. There's a blackjack pot that's free. First 21-inch speckled trout submitted to win a Grande Fishing prize pack. So we appreciate them for their support. Thanks again to Truchador & Co. in Waterloo for supporting this segment, Chasing the Tide, saltwater segment here on Paddle and Fin. And this is Dustin. Thanks again, Heath, for coming on. And we'll see y'all next time. All right.
See you later, brother.
Thanks for tuning in to another killer episode on Paddle and Fin. Don't forget to go check out our website at paddle_n-fin.com. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel at Paddle and Fin. If you got a question, comment, want to hear from a future guest on a future episode, feel free to email us at paddle_n-fin@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Paddle and Fin on Facebook and Instagram. Shout out to our show supporters, Angler. The Angler button and app just makes for a better time on the water and creates a virtual logbook for every fishing outing out on the water. Shout out to Rocktown Adventures, located in northern Illinois, for all your kayaking, camping, and hiking needs. Shout out to Jig Masters Jigs. When in doubt, get the jig out. Go to jigmasters.com